The PTRD, officially the Protivo-Tankoyavy Ruzo-Destrova, or Degratov Single-Shot Anti-Tank Weapon System model of 1941, is a 4-star RF that's available from normal and heavy construction, and from stage drops in stages 0-1, 4-4, 4-2E, 5-2, 7-3E, 8-5, 8-1E, 9-1, 9-5, 10-5, 11-1, and 11-3E. During the USSR's invasion of Poland, the Red Army captured multiple Polish Model 35 anti-tank rifles, which were quite effective against German armor in western Poland. Vasily Degratov copied the lock from the Model 35 and combined it with several parts of the German Panzerblitz 38 to eventually create the PTRD-41 and later the semi-automatic PTRS-41. Both the PTRD and PTRS were the only solo anti-tank weapons available to the Red Army in large numbers when Germany broke the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact and invaded the USSR. The cartridge used, the 14.5mm AP bullet, could pierce 30mm of armor at 500 meters and 40mm of armor at 100 meters. Most German tanks had side armor thinner than 40mm, with only the Panzer V Panther having side armor that was between 40 and 50mm. After World War II, the PTRD was used by the North Korean and Chinese forces in the Korean War, as well as the Viet Cong in the Vietnam War. During the Korean War, William Brophy, an American ordnance officer, attached a 50 BMG barrel to a captured PTRD to see how far the PTRD could fire. The PTRD is a single-shot bolt-action anti-tank rifle, firing the 14.5 by 114mm cartridge from a single-shot barrel at a user-dependent rate of fire, out to a range of 300 meters without a scope and 1,000 meters with a scope. In her character art, drawn by Evan Yang, PTRD wears a 3-point cloth harness underneath a very tight-fitting and high-cut shirt, a dark blue double-breasted, no pun intended, coat with the top few buttons undone, a very tight leather skirt, fishnet stockings, a dark blue and dark red trench coat, black leather gloves, a brown ushanka, red earrings, and knee-high strapped leather high-heel boots. She holds her PTRD with both hands, one on the grip with her finger off the trigger, and another on the carry handle. Interestingly, the flash hider is completely enclosed and does not have any side vents, which I believe kinda renders it useless. In her voice lines, voiced by Shizumu Ai, who also voices Makoto Minagi in My Hime, Road Camelot in D. Gray Man, Ariel in Koreizom, Seraphal Leviathan in High School DxD, and Charlotte in Fire Emblem Fates, PTRD talks about her war experience a bit.
大丈夫よ、指揮官。誰であろうと、私の弾からは逃れられない。遠いのね。やっぱり距離をもうちょっと近くに。冗談よ。編成を拡大したの。射程距離は伸びたかしら。はあ、戦争なんてめんどくさいと思わない？ちょうどいい距離ね。覚悟しなさい。充填完了。では、永遠にさよなら。
Like some RFs, PTRD's main role is hitting the closest enemy for a large amount of damage. Her tile only affects an HG, reducing their skill cooldown by 15%, and is best positioned on tiles 4, 5, 7, or 8. At level 10, her skill, Interdiction Shot, has PTRD begin charging after her skill cooldown ends, getting 1 charge per second up to a max of 5. When procced, she aims for 1.5 seconds, then deals 3.1 to 7 times damage to the closest enemy, based on the number of charges, consuming all charges on use. This has an 8-second ICD and 9-second NCD. Without crits or equipment, this skill does 493 to 1,113 damage. Without equipment, but with crits, she does 739 to 1,670 damage. When fully linked at level 100 and maxed out, PTRD has 93 HP per link for a total of 465, consumes 55 ammo and 90 rations, deals 159 damage, has 29 evasion, 75 accuracy, 28 rate of fire, 7 move speed, a 40% crit rate, and deals 150% damage on a crit. PTRD is able to equip telescopic sights, hollow sights, red dot sights, suppressors, AP ammo, microchips, rangefinders, and capes. The recommended equipment for PTRD is her special equipment, the Blue Thickened Cape, which is available in the Easter event store, a 5-star scope, and 5-star special sniper ammo. This gives her plus 10 damage, plus 3 rate of fire, plus 48% crit rate, plus 25% crit damage, and plus 120 armor pen. This brings her stats to 169 damage, 31 rate of fire, 88% crit rate, 175% crit damage, and 135 armor pen. Her skill without crits does between 524 and 1183 damage. With crits, her skill does between 917 and 2070 damage. If you want her high initial cooldown lowered, feel free to equip a rangefinder. PTRD is yet another bamboo RF that doesn't really serve all that much purpose in the current meta of Girls Frontline. While she can do a large amount of damage, it's only to a single target, and the closest one at that, with other bamboo RFs usually having the perk of aiming for the furthest back, which is useful against bosses. Her base rate of fire is the second lowest in the game, and even with equipment, she goes to 4th lowest. She does have a nice underboob, however. Regardless, I wouldn't recommend raising her, both because of her skill, initial cooldown on her skill, and low rate of fire. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter for updates. I also stream and are currently streaming Okami, and please check out my other Arknights and Azure Lane videos as well.